Hi and welcome to FluxMotorsport. You're here with Lecky and McToasty in the commentary box for our winter special event here at HLRX in Lånkebanen. I believe I'm saying that correct, in Norway. So we join ourselves with the Group 2, our first heat of Group 2, which includes Flush Ethic, Immortalis, Not Samuel, and unfortunately we have a dropout that's not here. So it looks like potentially these three guys from this group are all safe to go through. However, we're going to slug it out and see who comes first, who comes second, and who's the loser of the day so far out of Group 2. So not too long, guys, are just getting the last little bits of the setup sorted. So if you are just streaming into us, there is another Group 1 race going on at present. So do try and flip between the two and try and show some of our guys some support. And wish them all the best as they start to get underway here today. So like I said, we've got myself and McToasty here in the box. McToasty is currently working the cameras. The commentary is going to be brought to you by Lecky_2000. And our other group is brought to you by Murphy and TheConsole. And that is a completely different set of drivers. We'll get the group stages underway here, through to knockouts, and then through to our group final, which will lead eventually to our grand final. So as we get underway here, and they are go, go, go. So that is an absolute flying start from Immortalis. Immortalis getting right into the lead there. Is he going to take the Joker on the first lap? I think he is. So good manoeuvre. A lot of the guys taking the Joker on the first lap here in the practice sessions. And that is let Flush Ethic come through into the lead. But Not Samuel just get into what looked like a little bit of contact there just behind with Immortalis. But coming out, Immortalis coming out better and with the Joker done. So Flush Ethic just a couple of seconds in front, 2 to 3 seconds in front now. As we see Immortalis there just going a little bit wide, it's going to lose him a bit of speed there and let Not Samuel catch back up to him as he drifts it round that nice left hand corner, just trying to get the nose in on the apex, misses the apex a bit there and he slides a bit wide. So is that going to let Not Samuel, and Not Samuel's very slow at the back. So as Immortalis comes into the jump for the first time, just take a look on board with Flush, and Flush getting the over rotation on the Joker done. He's going to come back out just in line with him. They're going to go neck and neck. So is he going to overshoot and Immortalis got on the inside? He is. Just a bit of contact and they are door to door here in race 1, heat 1. As Flush Ethic comes through on the inside, just trying to clip the apex. Might get track limits there for that. As Immortalis comes through with his arse sliding all the way through that turn 3, I believe it is now. Coming through into the left-handed downhill, trying to not get that wall. Over rotate the car there and turn it completely around if you get that. And Flush Ethic over rotating on the last corner, letting Immortalis through in that Dirtfish livery as he takes the jump. Flush Ethic just behind, and it looks like they're leaving Not Samuel just a little bit behind here now. Flush Ethic still yet to do his Joker, which he has now registered actually, so that's now just come up on the board. So all three guys have done their Joker lap now as we come into lap 3. So it's all down to Flush Ethic whether he can get any further distance back on the back of Immortalis now. As we just flick over to Immortalis, just try and get some of the lap times for him currently. So I know the guys have been running 41 and 42 seconds in qualifying, but currently 43 and 45 seconds here as we see Immortalis going very, very wide on the last corner. But it looks like Flush Ethic has fallen back to around the 7-second mark. So as long as he doesn't make any major mistakes now in the last 4 laps here, halfway through this race, Immortalis looks like he's going to clinch it here. Nothing but space behind him. So I think Flush Ethic has got a bit of damage there. As well as Samuel coming in behind. So Samuel not quite spotting the damage that Flush Ethic is. Flush Ethic missing his front bumper there. So that's going to affect his performance and affect his total overall speed. So I don't think he's going to be able to catch Immortalis here as we see that gap increasing. But whether or not Samuel's going to try and put a bit of manoeuvre onto him here and try and pull that distance in behind as he comes through and clips the barrier there. So Not Samuel taking a little bit of the barrier, but he is up on his lap delta. So it looks like he's getting the hang of it now. A little bit wide coming into the penultimate corner and very slow into the last corner there. So still struggling to get the grips of the last corner there. Immortalis now 8 seconds in front, maintaining that distance, not having to push too hard now, and he'd be conscious just to try and bring that car home in the last 3 laps. But sandwiched in the middle is Flush Ethic, and gaps staying very similar here now. 8 seconds back to Flush, and 14 seconds back to Not Samuel, who I actually believe may well be called Samuel. I believe it's a red herring, but we'll have to ask him after the race if we can get a driver interview with him. As we're coming into lap 7 here, just at the end of, sorry, just coming into lap 6 here for Flush Ethic, as Immortalis is just coming through T1. He's down on his up on his delta as well, so 0.2 of a second under. So whether we're going to see some of these lap times coming down back to a qualifying time, a 42 second and a 43 second respectively for Immortalis and Flush Ethic. As we see Immortalis just dart in there, nasty part of the circuit that just as you come through, if you do slide a little bit too much just on the entrance the corner into timing sector 2, just trying to pull that wide there, just coming back in is very difficult as the wall juts out and wants to catch the rear of the car. Rear of the car being just a little bit wider on these. So lap 7, Immortalis still in front, extended that lead to 9 seconds now. And Flush Ethic just Not Samuel does look like he's taking a knock on that front bumper, so has got a little bit of damage there now, and looks like he's struggling to get the front end of that car to behave. So very slidey at the back, but lacking a little bit of the grump there. And Immortalis on lap 8 now as he comes through into the last section, sorry, into T1, just coming through into the last downhill section, round the last corner, out wide again, taking it nice and easy as he does go wide again though, so that a bit of an issue for Immortalis though, whether that's going to catch him out later in the knockout stages we'll have to see, but a distinctive line there going very wide. Looks like he's got the last corner nice and tight as he comes over, so Immortalis looks like he's completed Group 2 Heat 1 in first place. Flush Ethic looks like he's still struggling there as he comes through without a front bumper at the end of Heat 1. And he crosses the line in second place. And Not Samuel just coming in again into the last section, taking a definite off-road rally version here as he swings the back end round and comes over the line in third place. So that is Heat 1 for Group 2 just completed. We will take a minor break just for a moment, just as we get the drivers arranged for Heat 2, and we'll be back with you after a short interlude with 4 new drivers and a new race. So bear with us. Hi and welcome back to our Group 2 qualifying heats of our winter special event at FluxMotorsport. As you saw in round 1 in race 1, we saw Immortalis come in first place, Flush Ethic in second place and Not Samuel in third place. So that gives Flush Ethic 5 points, Immortalis 6 points and Not Samuel 4 points, with Icedexo not actually finishing the race, so not scoring in this one. So it leaves these three guys in a good position coming into the second set of heats in this round. So we will get underway with race 2. So same guys again actually in this one, so my mistake last time. Same guys again, second race, and we'll total the points up at the end, and then we will get underway with heats 3 and 4. So just a moment or two to do the setups. Just spoke to the guys in the in between races there. A couple of issues with getting the cars off the start line for one or two of the guys. So I'm going to try and look for a launch start in this one. Not Samuel really struggling with the car on the first lap, but managing to get the hang of it after that. So we'll try and watch, see if Not Samuel can try and come up through the positions there. But I think Immortalis may actually snatch this one again. So we will get underway. The guys look like they are ready to go. And we are go, go, go. So it's green, green, green. Immortalis again off the start, so he comes into first place. And Flush Ethic, they're just ripping past him, taking a little clip on the front end there, which we are actually allowing minor contact in this event. So going on his Joker, but it looks like he's possibly been a little bit delayed on the Joker. There is Not Samuel. Takes a bit of a dive bomb there on Immortalis and gets that completely wrong. So drops back a little bit there and letting Immortalis run away. 2 seconds already at the start of this race on lap 1. As they come into the downhill section near the that concrete wall and around turn 1, so losing a bit of speed there around turn 1, time in sector 1, so he's up on his lap this lap. I can't see the guys behind quite catching him at this stage. 4 seconds up, all the guys have done the Joker now, so that is coming into lap 2, all guys now completed the Joker, so no one left in terms of Joker laps at this stage. But Not Samuel, it looks like, has managed to get his nose in front of Flush Ethic, and there's just over a second in between these guys, so not coming up on the timing screen just at this stage, but Not Samuel going very, very wide there, and Flush Ethic now actually just about catching up, so just coming within range there, as he struggles to get traction himself off that last corner, and Not Samuel getting it down into second gear there as he comes into turn 1, which is essentially a double apex right-hander. Into turn 2, the downhill, and this fast section, 3rd and 4th gear now, and slamming it down. So taking a more reserved line here, Not Samuel. Flush Ethic just throwing the back of the car right in front of him. But these two together, just trying to watch for each other's lines. He's letting Immortalis just get away a little bit in front. Again, Immortalis not having to work too hard for this one, with nobody chewing at his heels right behind him. But in second and third place though, these guys kicking the snow right up. So just bearing in mind as well that in the snow there's going to be reduced visibility as well as reduced traction as the cars start to mess up the track in front of them, and it becomes more and more slippy. And Not Samuel really taking the speed off there, so all the way down to first gear, hard on the brakes and the handbrake by the looks of it, but still managed to get away. And a big Scandi flick there as he comes into that, and then unfortunately clatters the wall because of it, so that is definitely going to let Flush Ethic catch up to him as they come into what is the end of lap 4, both side by side coming into the left-hander downhill, and Not Samuel just taking an early flick there and getting that wrong, but actually Flush Ethic just helping him round there, so that rear end of the RX like her just pushing him round there, just helping him through. And the RFH delivery of Not Samuel actually benefiting there, and Flush Ethic going exceptionally wide into turn 1, almost giving him the place back there. So whether that was contact, but Not Samuel just over-egging it at this stage, and I think he's going to come worse off in this race. So as they come through, Immortalis on the Last corner now, just coming past timing sector to the other two. Flush Ethic now managed to get his way in front, but not after bullish tactics, certainly being quite reserved and good etiquette being observed here, despite the snow, despite the adverse weather conditions, which is great to see from our FluxMotorsport drivers. And coming into lap 6 now, so just a couple of laps to go. Not long these races, it is a mad dash in the snow, or one night of hell as it's been dubbed, as they come round that tight left-hander, missing the apex there but not going too wide, and you've got to miss the inside of the next bend. It's not really a corner, but it is a bend because the rubber's on the inside there. Flush Ethic getting it completely wrong, so that is a complete 180 rotation there, and he's lost all power. Manages to get it back into first gear and away, and Not Samuel there is desperate to get that position closed up as they come. Immortalis now onto lap 8, and just these lads coming into onto lap 7, just as these lads come onto lap 7 as well to join him. And over the jump for the penultimate time, just coming through turn 1. Will he over rotate again? No, so taking a wide line there, a much wider line than most people, managing to maintain distance, still 2 to 3 seconds in front of Not Samuel, but very wide on the apron there on the downhill left-hander, just going past T1 as they come through that long right-hander for the final time. Flush Ethic missing going wide there, and so did Not Samuel, avoiding the barrier. Nobody's taken the inside wall there on that left-hander just as you come on the penultimate corner as they come through the final corner, and it is same again for these guys. 1, 2, 3, Immortalis, Flush Ethic, and then Not Samuel in third. So that is essentially heat 1 over and done with race 2, with Immortalis taking the double win, 2 second places for Flush Ethic, and 2 third spots for Not Samuel, with Iced Exo not actually finishing either race. So what does that mean in terms of total points? Well, that leaves Flush Ethic in the middle with 10 points. Just below is Not Samuel at 8, but right top of the shop is Immortalis with 12 points. So just as these guys get into the action here, we will look to invite Fraser, Lil God, Harriet and Old Smokey are the drivers who will be joining us in Heat 2. We'll take a small interlude, we'll go and arrange for those drivers, and we'll back with you just after a short break. Stay with us.